Hello dear students, today we shall learn the lesson the ashes that made trees bloom. Okay, so let's start with it. So this is a story about an honest and hard-working old couple and their pet dog. The neighbors are troublesome and the dog dies a sad death. The spirit of dog gives solace and support to his master in unexpected ways. Okay, let's start with a story. In the good old days of the daimyos, there lived an old couple whose only pet was a little dog. Having no children, they loved it as though it were a baby. The old dame made it a cushion of blue crepe and at mealtime Muko, for that was its name, would sit on it as snug as any cat. The kind people fed the pet with tidbits of fish from their own chopsticks and all the boiled rice it wanted. Thus treated, the dumb creature loved its protectors like a being with a soul. The old man, being a rice farmer, went daily with hoe or spade into the fields, working hard from morning until Otento Sama, as the sun is called, had gone down behind the hills. Every day the dog followed him to work, never once harming the white heron that walked in the footsteps of the old man to pick up the worms. For the old fellow was patient and kind to everything that had life, and often turned up a sword on purpose to give food to the birds. So what the author is telling, there was an old childless couple that lived in Japan in 19th century. They had a pet dog called Muko, whom they treated as their own child. Muko, whom they treated as their own child. Okay, the old man was a rice farmer. He will go to the field with his hoe or spade early in the morning and will work there till sunset. The dog will accompany the man to the farm. He was a kind and patient man, always eager to help the animals in need. Okay. So what happened the next day? One day the dog came running to him, putting his paws against his legs and motioning with his head to some spot behind. The old man at first thought his pet was only playing and did not mind it. But the dog kept on winning and running to and fro for some time. Then the old man followed the dog a few yards to a place where the animal began a lively scratching. Thinking it was possibly a buried bone or bit of fish, the old man struck his hoe in the earth when, lo, a pile of gold gleamed before him. In the sense, one day the dog took his master to a certain place and began scratching the ground there. The doubtful old man began digging the earth and was amazed to see a pile of gold in front of him. Okay. So this is what the explanation of this paragraph. Thus, in an hour, the old couple were made rich. The good souls bought a piece of land, made a feast for their friends, and gave plentifully to their poor neighbors. As for the dog, they petted him till they nearly smothered him with kindness. Now, in the same village, there lived a wicked old man and his wife, not a bit sensitive and kind, who had always kicked and scolded all dogs whenever any passed their house. Hearing of their neighbor's good luck, they coaxed the dog into their garden and set before him bits of fish and other dainties, hoping he would find treasure for them. But the dog, being afraid of the cruel pair, would neither eat nor move. So what happened here? The old couple was rich now. They bought a piece of land, distributed a part of the wealth to the poor neighbors, and arranged a lavish feast for their friends. In the same village, there was a wicked old couple. They were insensitive towards dogs and other creatures till now. But listening to the fortune of the good couple, they too called the dog to their garden and offered food. The dog was so scared of them that it didn't even move from its place. Okay. Then they dragged him out of doors, taking a spade and hoe with them. No sooner had the dog got near a pine tree growing in the garden than he began to paw and scratch the ground, as if a mighty treasure lay beneath. "Quick, wife, hand me the spade and hoe," cried the greedy old fool, as he danced with joy. Then the covetous old fellow with a spade and the old crone with a hoe began to dig, but there was nothing but a dead kitten, the smell of which made them drop their tools and shut their noses. Furious at the dog, the old man kicked and beat him to death, and the old woman finished the work by nearly chopping off his head with the sharp hoe. They then flung him into the hole and heaped the earth over his carcasses. Okay. So what happened here? The couple, okay, the couple almost dragged the dog out of their house. The dog began scratching near a pine tree in their garden. The old couple began to dig the place where the dog had spotted. With excitement, they found a dead kitten with a foul smell at the place. They killed the dog in anger and buried it there itself. Okay. The owner of the dog heard of the death of his pet and mourned for him as if he had been his own child. Went at night under the pine tree, he set up some bamboo tubes in the ground, such as are used before tombs, in which he put fresh flowers. Then he laid a cup of water and a tray of food on the grave and burned several costly sticks of incense. He mourned a great while over his pet, calling him many dear names as if he were alive. That night the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream and said, "Cut down the pine tree over my grave and make from it a mortar from your rice pastry and a mill for your bean sauce." So what happened here? The good old man learned about the incident, came under the pine tree at the night to mourn the death of the pet that was like a child for him. He set up some bamboo tubes on the ground and kept some food and water over there. In the dream, the dog appeared and asked the old man to cut down the pine tree and make mortar for its rice pastry from it and a mill for his bean sauce. The old man did the same. Okay, so we will see what happened next. So the old man chopped down the tree and cut out of the middle of the trunk a section about 2 feet long with great labor, partly by fire, partly by the chisel. He scraped out a hollow place as big as a small ball. He then made a long-handled hammer of wood, such as is used for pounding rice. When New Year's time drew near, he wished to make some rice pastry. When the rice was all boiled, Granny put it into the mortar. The old man lifted his hammer to pound the mass into dough, and the balls fell heavily and fast till the pastry was all ready for baking. Suddenly, the whole mass turned into a heap of gold coins. When the old woman took the hand mill and filling it with beans began to grind, the gold dropped like rain. Okay, so what happened here? The old man did the same. During the new year, they thought of making some rice pastry. They put the rice after boiling into the mortar, and the old man began crushing the mass with a hammer to make dough. When the mass was ready for baking, it suddenly got changed into a heap of gold coins. It was gold dropping like rain with every drop of bean sauce that the old man was grinding at the hand mill. Okay. Meanwhile, the envious neighbor peeped in at the window when the boiled beans were being ground. "Gaudy me!" cried the old hag, as she saw each dripping of sauce turning into yellow gold. Until in a few minutes the tub under the mill was full of a shining mass of gold. So the old couple were rich again. The next day the stingy and wicked neighbor came and borrowed the mortar and magic mill. They filled one with boiled rice and the other with beans. Then the old man began to pound and the woman to grind. But at the first blow and turn, the pastry and sauce turned into a full mass of worms. Still more angry at this, they chopped the mill into pieces to use as firewood. Okay. So what happened here? It was gold dropping like rain with every drop of bean sauce that the old man was grinding at the hand mill. The wicked neighbor was peeping from the window and saw everything. Next day, they borrowed the mortar and the magic mill from the old couple, but for them, the boiled rice and the beans both turned into lumps of foul mass of worms. The angry couple destroyed the mill and planned to use it as firewood. Okay. Fine. Not long after that, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burned the mill made from the pine tree. "Take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again," said the dog spirit. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where he found the miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time, they warmed their hands and feet with the blaze from some bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of the broken pieces. The good old man humbly asked for the ashes. Though the covetous couple turned up their noses at him and scolded him as if he were a thief, they let him fill his basket with the ashes. What happened here? The spirit of the dog appeared in the dreams of old good man once again. Okay, it advised the man to sprinkle the ashes of the mill on withered trees and they will be green again. The old man went to the wicked couple's home, collected the ashes and sprinkled it over the bare cherry tree. The tree was filled with the pink fruits and its fragrance filled with the air. Next, on coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it and it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blooms which perfumed the air. The news of this filled the village and everyone ran out to see the wonder. The covetous couple also heard the story and gathering up the remaining ashes of the mill kept them to make withered trees blossom. The kind old man, hearing that his lord, the daimyo, was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him, taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the side way. So what happened here? It advised the man to sprinkle the ashes. Okay, then the old man came to know that his lord Domio was to pass through the highway near the village. He rushed to catch a glimpse of his lord with the ashes in the basket. He climbed on a dried cherry tree. Okay, so what happens next? Now, in the days of the daimyos, it was the custom when their lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper so as not to commit the impertinence of looking down on his lordship. All the people along the roadside would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. The train drew near. One tall, competent man marched ahead, carrying out to the people by the way, "Get down on your knees. Get down on your knees." And everyone kneeled down while the procession was passing. Suddenly, the leader of the van caught sight on the aged man up in the tree. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone, but seeing he was such an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So, when the daimyos drew near, the old man, taking a pinch of ashes from his basket, scattered it over the tree. In a moment, it burst into blossom. So, what happened here? However, the old man was ignored by the daimyos men, considering his age. As the procession passed by, the old man sprinkled a pinch of ashes on the cherry tree. In a moment, the withered tree blossomed. The delighted daimyo ordered the train to be stopped and got out to see the wonder. Calling the old man to him, he thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cake, fans and other rewards to be given him. He even invited him to his castle. So the old man went gleefully home to share his joy with his dear old wife. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. There he waited until a daimyo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. So Daimyo was amazed and ordered his men to stop the train, and he went out to see the wonder. Okay. He was pleased by the old man and rewarded him with many costly gifts. The wicked couple, after hearing the story, repeated the same. Okay. So what happened next, we'll see. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. There he waited until a daimyo's train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed a withered cherry tree. When the daimyo himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree, which did not change a particle. The wind blew the fine dust in the noses and eyes of the daimyo and his wife. Such sneezing and choking! It spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. The man whose business it was to cry, "Get down on your knees," seized the old fool by the collar, dragged him from the tree, and tumbled him and his ash basket into the ditch by the road. Then, beating him soundly, he left him for dead. So what happened here? Daimyo was amazed, okay, by the good old man. Was amazed and ordered his men to stop the train, and he went out to see the wonder. Okay, that all happened. The wicked couple, after hearing the story, repeated the same. But wicked couple, after hearing the story, repeated the same. But for them, the cherry tree didn't burst into blossom. The ash was blown away by the wind, and it created trouble for Daimyo and his wife. The old man was pulled down from the tree and was beaten to death. While the wicked old man met such a disastrous end, the kind old couple lived happily with the fortune. So this was the story, the ashes that made blossom. Okay. So when the daimyo himself was almost directly under him, okay, this is what the story I have told you. So thus the wicked old man died in the mud, but the kind friend of the dog dwelt in a peace and plenty. Okay, and both he and his wife lived to a green old age. Fine. Hope you have understood the story. We'll wind up the class here itself. Thank you. Have a nice day.